total pleasure hearing you speak on the panel today because I've been such a fan of yours.
Oh, thank you.
I mean, you've been around in venture for a long time and so many people mention you in the interviews that I've done, so I'd really love to just get some feedback if you've got any advice for women or any sort of tips or points for entrepreneurial women.
Well, there's no better industry to build a very strong career and assume a leadership position than the technology industry. So the opportunity at the starting line is wide open. There's a lot of new, young women leaders in our industry. If you look at Facebook, you've got Sheryl Sandberg, Google, Marissa, and Megan. So we have a lot more role models in our leading companies, not sort of just a few hidden around here and there. I do think that for women, it is really important to remind them that they need to step up to the plate, that just because they're a woman, no one's going to give them any special deal, and that they have the same educations, the same capability, and their opinions are highly valued. So take a little risk, have a lot of courage, and the opportunity will be there for you.
And I've heard from a lot of people that I've interviewed that really they want more women. So there's really no excuse, is there? We've just got to, like you said, step up to the plate.
Well, I do think that we get used to industries that are male-dominated, so it doesn't seem unusual, if you're in a venture meeting that there's just all men around the table. It doesn't seem unusual that you're in an engineering meeting that there's mostly men. So there does need to be subtle reminders, or not so subtle every once in a while, like where are the women? I had a large corporate client in our office with 14 executives yesterday. 13 men, one very bright young woman who had a leading role in the dialogue. And I was important to point out, because they came to meet with our firm, and I'm an important part of that firm, that it was great to see a young woman in the room. And I doubt that if a man was leading that session that they would have pointed that out. We had contingent from INSEAD's MBA class in our office the other day, and a dashing set of young men, and I asked, didn't any women come? And they were looking around like, oh wait, oh yeah,
we forgot.
So you can, use a good sense of humor and whatever, but people get used to status quo, no matter who you are. And so women need to raise their hand, and women need to watch out for other women. And the stats are not improving for women any place, but the reality is that people that are women on their board and have women leaders are better performing companies. So we don't need to run around with picket signs or anything, but we can subtly remind people that hey, there are a lot of talented women out there, and if they've been lucky enough to have one, point at that lucky woman and point it out to the men as well.
And I think that having women role models such as yourself and also the other ones that you've mentioned, I think is also a key piece, really, that women can see other women that have been successful. They know then that's possible for them.
The role model thing doesn't seem to work as well as you would think.
Oh, really?
It's really interesting. Women are very independent thinkers, probably maybe even overthink things. So, I think personal empowerment is probably more important than being like someone else. It's really, really important to instill in women a strong sense of courage and a strong sense of confidence and a willingness to take the risks to move up to the table. Is really that one piece of risk that seems to be missing, seems to be that little nudge, I think is more important than even great role models. I can't think of a better role model, in the younger women coming up than Sheryl Sandberg. She's a great leader in her company. She does tons of stuff in the community. She is very thoughtful in what she talks about. She's confident in stating a very thoughtful opinion. So there's no better role model, but I don't run around hearing people saying, I want to be Sheryl Sandberg.
Not like Mark Zuckerberg.
Yeah, exactly. So, which is unfortunate. So I'm not sure the imprinting thing works as well as
I've got
the
it.
instilling courage early.
Okay, okay, that's a valid point. Thank you so much
You're
for
welcome.
your time today.
Thanks.
Lovely to meet you.
You too.